So we're joined by my friend, Dr. Cierra Robinson, there in Baltimore, Maryland, by way of Mississippi Jackson State Tiger graduate. We thank you so much for taking some time for our entrepreneurship class. I've got a room full here with me at Velma Jackson High School, and we're recording this for all of our friends in Madison County schools, including my good friend April Majors over at Ridgeland High School, Germantown High School, Madison Central High School, the Academic Option Center, and our YouTube channel. So thank you so much for taking some time for us today.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me and all of you guys at the other school districts and schools. I appreciate you for having me again. Like you said, I'm a Jackson State grad. Lots of Mississippi roots. My grandmother is from Hinds County, Mississippi. So yeah, I returned home to attend Jackson State. And I have a lot of experience and background here in business entrepreneurship. So I'm looking forward to sharing my story. And let me know when I can begin or share capabilities. All right.
Go ahead. It's got this new setting. You should be able to share.
Yep, I'm sharing.
Cool.
All right. So again, hey, Velma Jackson High School. I am Dr. Cierra Robinson, and I'm going to be talking about entrepreneurship and business. So did a little flyer here for you guys because I appreciate you guys having me. Who am I? So I am Dr. Cierra Marie Robinson. I am from St. Louis, Missouri. I attended Fulton High School in Fulton, Missouri, home of the Hornets. I participated in DECA, FBLA in high school. I'm the founder and CEO of Interactive Teach Lab, a three-time HBCU grad, Jackson State University, Howard University, and my PhD is in Morgan State University here in Baltimore, Maryland. I am the director of the Baltimore Metropolitan Women's Business Center. My background is in communications with experience in radio and media. I've traveled to over 40 plus countries: India, Maldives, Singapore, Japan, Cuba. We can ask questions about that later, but I've been all over. And I taught business overseas in China for 4.5, almost 5 years.
Well, that's cool. We actually have a teacher here from Hyderabad and another one from Shanghai.
Oh yeah, I taught near Shanghai in Hangzhou, Chengdu, and Jinan. So yep, familiar. And here is a little fun fact: I have a Shih Tzu. Her name's Pearl. So if she makes an appearance, that's Pearl, and it's named after Prince Diamonds and Pearl song, and that is Pearl. She's a part of my family. So
Love it.
all right. So my HBCU background journey, Jackson State. My background is in mass communications, media study. Well, mass communications minor in marketing, and for my master's, I got it from Howard University, mass communications, media studies. I have two certifications in entrepreneurship and international studies. That is where I got my
Wow.
drive for entrepreneurship. There, I won business plan competitions from Center for Entrepreneurship Research Center, the John H. Johnson School of Communication Entrepreneurship business plan competition. I won quite a few, so in first place always. So I'm thankful for that. Morgan State University, that is where I got my PhD in higher ed administration. So how do you go from business to entrepreneurship, from things like that? Entrepreneurship was my focus in my dissertation. I looked at MBA students who were entrepreneurs and obtaining their PhD. Obtaining their MBA. From com to education to entrepreneurship, innovation, it all emerged for me now to what I do now, and how I focus on AI and how I use communication tools to leverage business strategy for small businesses. And so all of these things have played a role. From my radio background to PR is learning how to tell the story, learning how to learn people, in addition to learning how ideas become value. And that's where the entrepreneurship business component come in, and building what comes next, which is in my business now, in innovation and AI. So I have that global perspective because I visited over 40 plus countries. I understand business and the new next level generation of tools that are being brought by, especially in China. They use digital for everything. I was able to listen before leading, adapt quickly to those aspects, respect different perspectives, because you're going to meet people from all over the world. No matter if you're in China, there's someone from India. There's always a melting pot of people. As you guys know, there are people from all over the country that are in Jackson or other parts of Madison or Canton. It's just a lot of people. So you have to think beyond the places that you are and where you started, and try to spot ideas across all industries and cultures. So the world is just bigger than our zip codes than which we know.
Oh, yeah.
So I traveled all over the world. I said 40 plus countries. You can name a few, but I've listed a few photos here. I've been to Iceland. I've been to Amsterdam. I've been to Paris. I've been to Costa Rica, Morocco, of course, China, Japan. I've been all over the world. And so these things have strengthened my creativity, confidence, and my global perspective. And I'm just so thankful for that because it is beyond what I could have ever imagined, especially when it comes to the world of business. Different cultures and countries see different ways of looking at entrepreneurship. In China, everyone has their business. It's family-owned businesses, factories. It is very entrepreneurship driven. There's very rarely chain businesses there. Everyone is small business. So now what I do now is interactive teach lab where I basically merge AI and technology with entrepreneurship businesses while helping small businesses leverage AI in addition to corporate and school districts learn the hands-on approach to AI and how to incorporate it by using immersive interactive labs to teach AI, whether it be STEM, whether it be health and wellness. There are ways you can launch an AI campaign for a hospital and how to leverage that. So these future-ready skills allow these businesses and companies and corporations to utilize AI in the way it's supposed to for their particular business.
That's awesome.
So you really just want to think big outside of the box because your first idea doesn't have to be perfect. You generally just want to start it and start with something at the beginning and then let it go on and emerge. So how I am in my role now, Balt Metro Women's Business Center, I actually do what I do every day for Balt Metro. I help business with their business, consulting, educating them, allowing them to spread their ideas within the center and bounce them off each other and their different clients and access resources that we have that are all free. So there's partnerships, workshops, community connections, and they're pretty much helping founders build confidence and capacity. So you're just imagining what they're doing and putting it into action with them and assisting them along the journey.
That's awesome.
And so milestones that have shaped me, of course, Jackson State, Howard, I graduated there. Leadership with Hennessy Fellow with TMCF, where C-suite executives, which was phenomenal. I got to go, of course, to Hennessy headquarters in New York and build those partnerships and leverage those relationships. Morgan State, got my PhD. I'm able to produce research, understand what it takes to understand entrepreneurship and business from the research aspect and the academia side. Then my professional brand, how I'm able to connect all those three things, all my institutions, and utilize them for my actual business, Interactive Teach Lab. So how can you guys create? Notice your problem, create how do you make it better? You can test it from a small version. Those little small family gathering here, try this, taste this, test this out. Learn feedback. It's okay to, if someone doesn't like it or if they do like it, how you can grow it. It's always room to grow and utilize it. So you want to build on that by keeping up and improving what you've already gained from the past. Because you got to remember, times are forever changing. They may have liked it last week. They may not like it this week. All
There
right,
you
we see
go.
that all the time with celebrities all the time. Oh, 1 minute we like them, the next minute we don't. So you want to start with what you know and use what you have and keep learning because all the time the resources are not there. But now in today's society, there's so many opportunities where you can research and leverage those opportunities that are presented. So if you have any questions about my journey, I know I went quite fast because I want you guys to be able to ask me questions and I can give you all the feedback, whether it's from my grad school days, my travel experiences, or just me as a person. I would love to answer them. So, and I also put my information here for you guys can stay connected. Instagram, I have my personal, and I also have my interactive teacher lab on my personal. I wasn't on social media for 5 years. However, I do post a lot of big business things. So just feel free to ask me questions, whether it's about AI, mentorship, how to join Bot Metro. You guys can utilize our resources. We offer a lot of virtual things online. So you guys are able to join in and hear those things and how you can leverage your business and those opportunities. All
That's
right.
awesome.
All right.
And I'll definitely pass on that to some people because I think that would be a great resource for a lot of folks. But I don't make those decisions, so I'll let the people that do take a look at it. But a couple things I did want to talk about because I do have some questions from them.
Okay.
You did a triple HBCU journey,
Mm-hmm.
which is getting more and more uncommon. We have a lot of HBCU PWI combo
Mm-hmm.
on this platform, which again, everybody's path is different. And we have
Mm-hmm.
so many great HBCUs here in Mississippi, some up there in the DMV,
Mm-hmm.
all over the South. And one thing I hear a lot from
Mm-hmm.
kids is, well, I don't want to go to the HBCU because I went to a black high school. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would enjoy it. And I think it's
Uh-huh.
important to make a few things that are not true. First of all, historically black does not mean exclusively black.
Yeah.
As you know, as a Jackson State graduate, Jackson State
Mhm.
has students from over 70 countries, I believe, and all types of languages and cultures are
Mhm.
there. And the other thing I always say is, you think all black folks are the same?
No, and
So,
that's interesting that you brought that up. My niece, I attended Fulton High School and it's predominantly not black. So, I didn't have an actual a teacher that was African American or any of that sort while in high school, not one. So
wow.
for me, I chose historically black college because I didn't have it. However, now programs are offered that are not typically at other institutions that are at historically black colleges. Jackson State has a mediology program that's phenomenal, right? So not every university is going to have what you need. You may look at a university as PWI that may not have that mediology program, and Jackson State may have it. They have a phenomenal program. Same thing with, we may not have the top journalism school, which we do have a great program. However, Mizzou does have a phenomenal. So it's just all about the student and what you're leveraging and looking to gain. But for me, I'm going to advocate for historically black colleges because of what they paved the way for me. I am a pro HBCU student and graduate.
Yeah.
I love historically black colleges.
And I'm glad you mentioned the meteorology. Big shout out to my friend Dr. Jessica Murphy over there at Jackson State. Jackson State has the
Mhm.
only interactive 3D weather lab in the state of Mississippi. So
See?
very big on the technology there in meteorology. And also big shout out to my friend Dr. Sharon Simmons, head of the entrepreneurship department at Jackson State. She is a world-renowned entrepreneurship advisor, and she heads that department at Jackson State. So you're not
Yeah, School
getting
of Business is
shortchanged.
great. I had an
Yeah.
option to be there.
Yeah, you're not shortchanging yourself being at a HBCU. So it's very important for everybody to understand that. And look,
Mhm.
again, the PWI may be the best choice for people. It really can be. And we got some great ones here. I went to Southern Miss. I went to LSU. I support both of them wholeheartedly.
Best
But
friends
my
at
path is
LSU
not the
grad.
yeah, my path is not the same as everybody's. But
Dr.
I
Chantel George
did want it.
advocating for it.
Yeah, and I did, but I just wanted everybody to understand that you don't need to put HBCU in a box that doesn't exist. So
Yep.
the HBCU route could be great for anybody at any degree. You could do the PWI
Mhm.
undergrad, HBCU grad. So really do your research and see the best place for you.
Right. And that's the thing. But also there's certification programs. I got a certification from Harvard and Cornell. There's other options to leverage. I also have those degrees. Actually talk about those all the time, like how those options were tools and they were at PWI. So I did the Cornell entrepreneurship. I did the Harvard entrepreneurship essentials. Those programs are also options too. It's not every day. You go where you can afford what you feel is best for you and what you and your family decides. I feel like that is the best option. But for me and my choices, I chose what I chose. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have a student here wanting to put her apply for Howard upon
Mm.
graduation. So we're working on that as well. So again,
Start early.
Howard.
Start
Yeah, and
early.
we're already started on it, so that's her dream to do that. Now, I wanted to talk about something because whenever we get done here in a few minutes, these folks are going to give their presentations that they have
Mhm.
prepared on different businesses. And the
Mhm.
reason that is so important to me is because I'm really big on communication
Right. Me
because
too.
especially
Calm
as an
background.
entrepreneur, yeah, especially as an entrepreneur, you've got to be able to speak. You've got to be
Yep.
able to sell. You've got to be able to communicate with customers. You've got to be able to communicate with employees. You are your biggest marketing tool. And if you can't sell yourself and be confident, it's going to be very difficult to be in entrepreneurship. So, and obviously everybody can't speak like you and me, and that's fine. But at the end of the
Yeah.
day, you have to be comfortable and confident. So how can kids now, because look, we know TikTok's not going anywhere. And they're
Mhm.
so eat up with that and see all that, but being able to, walk in a room and introduce yourself, how important
Yeah.
are those now for these kids to say, "Hey, I want to be an
I
entrepreneur,"
have
but
the best.
you got to be
You
able
could
to
ask
speak.
anyone. You could ask anyone. This is my favorite line. I say this in life. Can no one embarrass you but you? No one sells you better than you can sell yourself. Can no one tell you about you but you? You know you better than anyone. And that is my biggest thing. But I also tell people utilize the tools that are around you. Toastmasters, free. There are virtual Toastmasters that are free. I did it in China. I did it in the US. You can do a Toastmaster here and there. You can practice with your friends, those 30-minute pitches. There's free entrepreneurship incubators out there. Try to utilize the resources that you have and actually have AI help you. Utilize ChatGPT and the Claude to say, hey, let me help me practice this pitch. Provide me 30 seconds on the clock. How can I minimize what I'm trying to say? These are tools that are there to help you. You can help yourself by practicing with yourself or utilizing your family, your teachers, and your professors, or whoever are your mentors that are around you. Those are tools that you actually have control over. You know your mom, you know your dad. We don't, but they know you and they know what your capabilities are. They know if you're nervous. Like, you want to utilize those resources around you. But as I've always said, help yourself by helping yourself. You can only embarrass you. No one can sell you better than you can sell yourself.
Yeah, and and I know teachers don't like when I say this, but I actually encourage the use of AI in this class. And it
Yeah.
is not to find the answers, it is not for any of that, but you can use AI to your advantage. Use it to format
Yeah.
things. You can say, hey, I want this is my business, this is my idea. It's not stealing your
Mm-hmm.
idea. Prompt it to have your idea
You
say, I
keep that
want
creative concept.
exactly. So you
You
can
keep
say,
it.
my business is this. This is what I sell. Can you format an organizational chart? Can you format a SWOT analysis? Can you
Yeah.
format an employee handbook? So all those things, because people see that, they're like, well, that's going to be too hard. Well, use AI and technology to your advantage. It's still your idea and your passion. Save yourself that headache.
And even if you know your SWOT analysis, your strengths, your weaknesses, and opportunities or threats, you can put them in there and say, better assess me with what I have already contributed to my own SWOT analysis, right? So you can already say what you know and enhance it. You're not using anyone's ideas. These are your ideas that you want to better formulate through the use of technology. Because you got to
Yeah.
remember, you are the storyteller of your own narrative. So,
Big time. Now, the other thing I wanted to mention real quick is, and we haven't really gotten to this in this class, but this is something I talk about a lot. And, like we said before we started recording, several young people have come through this program and opened their own businesses, started
right.
doing hair, selling things on Instagram.
That's
You know,
amazing.
yeah, yeah, and it's that hustle mindset. We have, and we just applaud their initiative. But they'll immediately start marketing themselves, and I see what they're charging, and I'm like, there ain't no way you're charging enough. So, and an easy trap for teenagers to fall into is you have the mindset of I'm 15, 16 years old. I only have this much money in my pocket. Now,
Mm,
let's not get stupid. There's a reason Ferraris cost so much. It's
mm,
because if the term is for entrepreneur scholars is perceived value. You can offer something more and say, hey, I'm charging this much, but look what you're getting. So that is it's not even a practice, it's a science. So
mm-hmm,
how, as these, because everybody here's got already come up with their own concept. How did they
mm-hmm.
come up with the best way to price their products when they're wanting to go into business for themselves?
So first of all, look at your competition. You got to do the SWOT and look at who's around you, what they're pricing. But you also got to realize if you're not a startup and you've been doing this for quite some time, just because you haven't been incorporated and you haven't got the bank account, but if you've been braiding for over 10 years and you're a senior in high school, you've been doing it for like since you were 7, 8, third grade, and your mom has embedded you and you're probably one of the best braiders in the city, you have to price accordingly because now you're not a startup. You have the leverage to price at these rates, but you have to know your competition and around you and base it off that. And market value too. You have to know that the market is offering these services at. You can't go above what's already offered in your area. Now, some Atlanta may charge for braiders differently other than Mississippi. You have to also know your market and what is being priced within the area, not just local, the town, within the state. You have to do that research, right? The census tells you all these things of how much stuff costs. So you utilize that. Research is key. Then you use that as a base to know what is charging. You got to see the competition around you. And if your work, a quality or product or whatever service you're doing is up to par in that market. And if it is, then you base it accordingly. But you also got to realize people are not coming to homes to do these things. So you got to decrease based on that. If you don't have a website, how are you marketing based on what you have? Is it accommodation fee? If you have a website, you have to maintain. You have all these things, then that's included in your pricing. But if you're selling out your trunk or you're selling out your mom's van, that's not going to be a high overhead. So you have to price it accordingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, you know, being the cheapest isn't always the key. You can
Right.
have a fair price, be able to offer just a little bit more, and it's amazing. People will pay for convenience. People will
Right.
pay for, another guest on this platform. She has a funeral home in New York, and
Mm,
she does cost a little bit more than other places, but she can offer everything. So
a
you
slew
get
of
everything
everything.
turnkey. Everything is turnkey from start to finish for your family services.
Mm.
It may cost you a little bit more, but it saves you the headache and it saves you the time. So you have to be
Convenience
able
is
to find
key.
ways to leverage that.
Convenience, the leveraging of convenience. That's her niche. She offers that. So you guys have to figure out your niche and how you're upselling or outselling the competition and how you're standing out amongst the crowd.
Yeah. Now, before I get to their questions, there's always one thing I like to talk about too is, again, we talk about the TikTok and people see I open my business and all the glamour and everything. And Jasmine Sullivan has the song, I'm going to move to Atlanta, open a business and I'll never be broke again. And I'm like, y'all are just seeing the glamorous side. So, what are some of the things kind of behind the scenes that can make or break a business, but people don't really like paying attention to it because it's not the fun stuff?
The compliance component. If you don't pay those taxes, being compliant with the federal government, having all your bills and whistles in line. If you say, "Oh, I'm going to do start a nonprofit," do you have a board that's required for a nonprofit certification, 501(c)(3)? Those things that are you think are the small, minute things are very important when it comes to being compliant with the government. Saying you're starting a business, you have to have your LLC, you have to have you have the business bank account. When you're invoicing people, who do they pay? Where do it go? Those things can make or break a business, right? So you got to have all the bells and the whistles. If someone wants to pay you, they're not going to pay your cash app. They're going to want to pay an entity where they can get a receipt, a return on it. They want to see that they're getting something back. So they want that receipt. They want to see a trail. They want to be able to hold the business accountable, right? So those are things that students really don't realize, or people, business owners, even small businesses. We're still gaining people who say, "Hey, I've been holding a business for 14 years, but don't have an LLC or EIN number." Is that a valuable business? Those are questions that come on our table all the time, right? So we have to be mindful of that even when you're starting. Get the foundation in order first. Okay? A house is built on a solid foundation. So get your foundation in order and then you can build up.
Yeah, and then the other thing you see people a lot of times is they want to hire people, but they don't have any paperwork on it.
Yeah.
They haven't given them a 1099, or if they're
Mm-hmm.
an employee, they haven't filled out the I-9, which is
Mm-hmm.
federal law. So things like that people tend to overlook. They want the glamour. Sorry, I had the bell. They want the glamour, but they don't want to put in the work to get there. But I do have a couple questions here, and I love
Ah,
this first one.
awesome.
This is Jeremiah Williamson. He's in 11th grade, one of our football and baseball players here at Velma
All
Jackson.
right,
And he asked,
Jeremiah.
you showed us a lot of places that you went. Of all
Uh-huh.
the places you traveled, what has been your favorite?
Okay, Jeremiah, that is a hard one for 2 reasons. I love the Maldives because the water is so clear. Like I tell you not, you can see through. It's like glass. And I did a sandbank where nothing was around me. Now that scared me because there was in a building inside. I was just on a piece of sand in the middle of the water. Now that was scary, but it was beautiful. But I also think Venice is like Florence and Venice, like they're like postcards. You don't feel like you're in a real place. Yeah. And I've been all over Africa. I love it, but it's just the views is picturesque. It's like you don't really feel like you're in a real space. So I think I would go Venice if I had to go. Yeah.
Man, I want to go to Venice so bad.
Yeah.
Anything to get to the Mediterranean and that area would be incredible. So, and I
Yeah.
saw some incredible pictures. I can't say I'm anywhere near there. I'm just at
Yeah.
5 countries, but you've got
Yeah.
to
I'm probably over
travel.
60, 75. I just put 40 because I hate when people say, how
Wow.
many? I'm like, oh Lord, it's better to tell you where I haven't been than to say where I've been.
Awesome. And then Jeremiah's business concept is a clothing line. He's always been interested in that type of stuff. So in the teenage market, that is a popular market. So
China. That's where I was. Everyone is a source there. It's cheaper for you to pay high shipping than just to pay a $800 flight to go over there round trip and pick out everything yourself. It's cheaper to do that than to pay for the shipping. You can just
wow,
pack it as a carry on, and bring your product back yourself. It's cheaper to do that. If he's ever looking to do that, don't purchase online. Just
I
go over,
never thought about that. Wow.
source it.
Um,
Yeah,
this is Ashton Job. He's in 12th grade. Has a really cool concept for an outdoor type business. This is a big hunting and fishing area in this part of
hmm
Mississippi, so he wants to capitalize on that. And he
hmm
asked, "How hard was it getting into the world of business when you're doing small business all over the globe?"
So for me, I was in an area where I was a small business. However, I was in a government contracting area. DC is big with the federal government. So I knew that's something that I needed to leverage because bigger money, bigger pot, bigger RFPs, bigger budget. So you got to remember, like, who are you selling to? Everyone has a small business, but you also have to think, like, what are you looking for to gain out of it as a small business? Sometimes you may not look for the capital of gain. Like you may be looking for the marketing side of it to expose yourself to a bigger market and just keep being small, but have small businesses all over to have a bigger margin later and to scale your business. So you have to know exactly what you're looking for, though. That's the key. Like I said, you know better than we would know for you.
Love it. Well, we're almost out of time, but a couple of
All right.
things before, and we thank you so much for joining us. God, these bell keeps getting. We would be remiss if we did not mention that you're a proud member of Delta Sigma Theta
Oh
Sorority
yeah,
Incorporated, and we have a few of our staff members here that are as well. But I think it's important for every young person to understand because I have several that say, I want to go to college, I want to pledge, I want to cross XYZ. And look, that's great because all
yeah,
these NPHC organizations are great. They offer a lot, but it is so much more than wearing the colors, strolling
uh-huh,
and stepping, and doing all the stuff where
for
you're at the
sure.
parties. So, just talk about the academic standards of the NPHC organizations, the service standards, and they're not cheap.
Yep. So first of all, Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated. Oops, shout out to all my sorors. We are built on sisterhood, scholarship, and service. So if you're going to do it scholarship, have the grades to meet it before you even approach. Because do your research, know what you're looking into. We're a sisterhood first. We build each other up. We uplift each other, lift as we climb. We're big on that. Scholarship, just giving back, pouring into our community. We offer scholarships even for high school. So please do your research. We offer scholarships for our students who are looking to enter into four-year institutions. So I'm sure Jackson, Mississippi, and Madison have scholarships available. And service, we're big on doing your community service. Start before you're never too young to start service. I started at a younger age. You can do it now. Be a part. There's so many opportunities where Delta Sigma Theta are looking for people to do community service, whether it's AK, Zeta, Sigma Gamma Rose. There's so many opportunities. Omega Psi Phi, Alpha Phi Alpha. There's so many IOTAs. They're all are looking. Phi Beta Sigma looking for opportunities to have people volunteer. It's all about the community service and what we're doing within this organization, opposed to the letters and things of that sort. So be mindful of what you're looking into. Do your research and know that it's bigger than a color or a letter. It's about the scholarship and the service in which we're putting back into our community.
Yeah, big time. Because I love kidding my friends that are Divine Nine members. That as we get older, I was like, I don't think you're going to be stepping too high at homecoming. So all that eventually wears off, and it is a lot of fun when you're an undergrad. Fun
Yeah.
fact about me: I've actually judged a step show, and people think
Oh
I'm
wow.
joking, but I actually have judged a step show. So I've been in the MPHC events, and they are a whole lot of fun. I encourage everybody, whether you're in one or not, if you're in college, go enjoy one. They are a lot of fun,
Yeah, for
but there's
sure.
so much more to that. But the last thing before we go, we are in desperate need of more black business owners in the U.S.
Mhm. For
And
sure.
even though there's people like yourself, there's people talking about it, there's still not enough. So many people are just, they have an idea, but they don't want to go for it. They have an
Mhm.
idea, but what did this? What did this? That doesn't help the economy. But when we have black owned businesses, it helps the economy, it helps the culture, it helps their family, and it helps the entire community. So as these kids start making decisions for their life after high school, whether they want to be a part-time entrepreneur, whether they want to have a full-time entrepreneur, or they just want to think like an entrepreneur as a great employee, all that is so important. So as they start making decisions for their life after high school, why should they really start honing in on these entrepreneurial skills before they ever walk across that stage at graduation?
Because it prepares you for the resources and the opportunities to come, because now you have the foundation and the tools and the support behind you. You have these professors and these teachers, so when you get to these next level things, you're already equipped with the knowledge beforehand. Now you're better equipped to keep up with the competition, right? So now you know what to look forward to when you go into these spaces, whether it's in the classroom, whether it's in the boardroom. So now you're equipped with all the bells and the whistles, and there's still room to grow and learn, even at your institutions in which you go to next. But now you have that foundation that you learned prior to, whether it's in FBLA, whether it's in DECA, whether it's in your entrepreneurship course, which I was a part of all those things. All of those things plays an inaugural role in your next step. So there's no one thing that's going to get you there. There's no magic key. Entrepreneurship is forever changing, just like communications, just like fashion forever changes. It's always changing, and it's up to you to change with the times and to grow along those journeys. Yeah.
Love it. Well, again, we thank you so much for joining us. The incredible Cierra Robinson, graduate of Jackson State University, all the way
Yeah.
from Baltimore, Maryland. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you guys.
I'll talk to you soon.
You too.